everybody had a good spring break. So it's National Nutrition Month still, and Erin and I are doing the My Plate food demo. That's going to be tomorrow. As of right now, we have like 4 or 5 people signed up, and that just causes, we need a lot more basically, because this is kind of like our big event for National Nutrition Month. And it doesn't really help when we are trying to like get people to love nutrition when our own people can't even like love nutrition as well. So if anyone is, I know that the World Food Bank is tomorrow as well, but if you could leave like 15 minutes early from the end of the food bank and get to the food demo like 15 minutes late, I understand, and that's not an issue. You won't be docked points or anything. We just need a lot more people to show up, and because as of right now we don't have enough. The Sign Up Genius is right there, or it's also been sent out in emails or in the Facebook. So if you can't find it, feel free to email me and I can forward it to you. And then Relay for Life, Kristen, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so the Relay for Life will be next Friday, so April 4th, I believe. We just need to get people signed up. It'll be really difficult that if we only have a few people walking to walk the entire night. And it's really fun. It's just a good time. And so the sign-up information is on the sheet. It's $10. That's what we would like you to have at least. We would like you to have at least 100. That just is enough for all of us to have a good impact, and that would get you a t-shirt for free. And then it starts at 6 o'clock on Friday, and Dr. Klein will be there walking, which is awesome. Yeah. And so it goes till 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 7. Pretty early the next morning.
I think it's 7. I think it's 6 to 7.
Or, yeah.
I don't stay for soon.
The morning's just early, but it's really fun. It's awesome. There's a lot of cool things, interesting things happening. Also, next Thursday we're gonna do we have to bake a cake because there's a competition for that. So if you guys want to come by and help, it'll be in the Foods Lab at like 4:15ish. So we'll start doing that, and we'll also do some decoration stuff for costumes because the theme is Cancer Fears the Cake. So we'll have some stuff going on with that.
And I know in past years, if you had to work or you had other things going on, you couldn't be there for the whole time. You could come for a portion of the time and at least help out with the walking. So
yeah.
Check with the co-chairs. So if you want to have that 3 to 6 a.m. lap or the 9 to 12 lap or whatever, I'm sure they would appreciate any help they can get.
Yeah, exactly. If you can only make it till like a certain time, or you have something that you have to, if you have somewhere you have to be on Saturday morning, so you can't stay that late. Like if you have work, that's fine. Like any help we can get throughout the night is great.
Or if you're working till 12, just come on over and help them out after that.
And also, you did say we're making the capes as well during the baking.
I think we're gonna try to do capes, but let's see if we can get done with that.
Okay, and the cape is gonna be just something you wear while you walk for the rest of the night, but we're also gonna have a hat kind of thing with like fruit on it and vegetables. That's gonna be the what's it called? The baton. That one person has to have on at all times basically. So we'll also be making that. And then our waste knot, I haven't checked it for April yet since March is almost over, but if you have any time at nights, we'd appreciate you just showing up for waste knot. It doesn't take long. It's a great cause. And then also our elections, this isn't on the agenda, but our elections are starting. And up here we have all of the officers wrote basically what they do as an officer, how much time they do a week, like the best parts of their jobs, the most stressful parts of their jobs. It's honest. We want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, kind of a thing. And so if you wanted to take any of those just to read them before you try out for them, that'd be great. And then make sure you have a 2.8 GPA in order to try out. And then your dues have to be paid in full for the entire year, also to try out. And then you need to send Mallory, our secretary, your letter of intent. We said that's the 7th, right? The 3rd.
Next Thursday.
Okay, so next Thursday you need to have your letter of intent in to Mallory by, and then from the 7th to the 11th, they'll be voting. That'll be done through email with Mallory. So she's totally responsible for the election processes. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact her. And then our end of the year banquet is coming up. I sent out like a opinion poll in the beginning of the semester, and we had everyone that's kind of did the poll. We had like 90% say yes, they want to go to Dr. Klein's house, and then the other 6% was like, can we have a carpool? So we'll definitely get one of those going. We only had a couple no's, so the majority rules, and we'll be going to Fort Collins. Yeah! So I will send out a sign-up genius probably after elections, and you can sign up for what you will be bringing. It's going to just be a potluck, basically, so...
I'll supply the main course,
okay.
The entree. Do most of you like Mexican food?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'll come up with a main dish of putting together tacos or enchiladas, or make your own something. I'll do something like that. So side dishes that would go with Mexican food. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
So it's not a banquet.
Yeah.
That used to have
Yeah.
banquets in December, but our spring one has always been just a potluck gathering. We've had it at different places. When I first started as the sponsor for SDA, we try to find a place out in one of the picnic areas at one of the parks here in town, and we kept getting either snowed out or rained out. We said, this is not working. So that's when, after 3 years in a row, I said, I know, I've just moved into a new house that has a lot more room. Everybody just come on over to my house and let's try to arrange all the transportation, hopefully. And we just kept it very informal. So I had that for several years until we had some health issues in the family, and then it got changed to going to the residence halls, and they were bringing things in. So I just mentioned that in passing one evening, saying, well, this is what we used to do. You know, it's a possibility is one thought. All of a sudden, it looks like it's reality. The only thing, though, is that I really have to do it on a weekend, because, as you know, I work here during the week, and it's kind of hard for me to get ready. So it would have to be probably that last weekend in April, because I'm at a wedding on May 3rd, which is that weekend right after classes are over.
So the weekend before
the weekend right before the last week of classes. So whatever those last couple of days in April are. And if you guys can, if you would decide which you think would work better for you, the Saturday or Sunday, either of those is fine. And let's just do a kind of a later afternoon kind of a thing. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you decide which of those days works better for most of you, and hopefully get some transportation going, and I'll start cleaning.
And then Caitlin, if you want to talk, I know you said you didn't have anything about peer mentoring, but one thing I was thinking about is if anyone knows any freshmen or sophomores that are still kind of wanting to get involved but not quite sure how, you could just give them Caitlin's contact information and she can get them involved in the peer mentoring program.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and something that like I'm hoping to talk about with next year's vice president, whoever that ends up being, is like more community building activities. And so that's something that I haven't actually talked to Kelsey about. But for anybody who will be here next year, something just as simple as like a little like information card, like if it's your first time to SDA, and that way you can be followed up with directly by at least like one of the officers, if not one of the seniors, and then maybe like potential icebreakers or stuff like that, just so that there's like more it's very camp-minded. Both camp people, but just so that there's like more feeling of community, and just so also we like get to meet more people when we're actually at the meetings. So yeah, and I always welcome feedback. Maddie, who helps with the peer mentoring program, Kelsey and I, we just really want it to be open, and the mentoring program and just like the building of community is really for everyone's benefit. So it's kind of like a group effort, whatever you guys think. So.
And then Mallory and Kara don't come today, they're tomorrow. And we had our first food bank visit this past Monday. We had, I believe, 4 or 5 people go, right?
4, including Mallory.
Okay, so there were 5 people there. She said it went well, so to anyone that went, thank you. And then we have our second one tomorrow, 4:30 to 6:30. And just keep in mind that if you have time after the food bank, if you could come help with the food demo, it would be much appreciated. And then Cameron's not here, but he said that we made a whole $14 off of our food, our bake sale. So
Bake sales just don't seem to
yeah,
be a good revenue generator for some reason.
I've found that when it's brownies and cookies, they make a lot more. So I think that people are just afraid of our healthy desserts.
You do like a smoothie bar.
Yeah, we'll think about something like that next year.
Lots of people would be able to come up there and just pick what they want, and it wouldn't necessarily be like healthy, but you can tell them while you're doing it, like, hey, look, this is Greek yogurt instead of this,
Right.
or we're using milk instead of juice. So you can have an educational piece to that too. And,
Are you here next year?
yes, I am.
Good. Sure that.
Yeah, I know. I have lots of ideas.
And then Kara is tomorrow also, but she just wants to remind everyone to bring their dues in. And also, if you buy anything for SDA, make sure that she has your bear number on the receipt. She's had to chase people down for the whole semester, me included, but just to make sure that you get paid back. The UC that deals with the money needs to have your bear number for that. And then just make sure that everyone came look at this, and it has just if you paid your semester dues, basically. If you have any questions, you can email Kara about them. And then Emily.
So there's not a NCDA meeting this month, but there's the 2014 Annual Nutrition Conference and Exhibition, and it's April 11th and 12th, and it starts like Friday in the afternoon and goes till that next Saturday's lunch kind of timing. And then I have like a sheet for it here that kind of breaks down like the conference schedule, and then it tells you prices on the back based on like whether you're a member of the Colorado Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, or if you're not a member, or if you're a student. So I'll just like pass it around, and yeah, so that's what's happening this month instead of a meeting, if you're interested in that.
And I do know that we have some of our professors and a couple of previous students will be presenting there. So if you're interested in seeing any of their work or hearing them talk, that's a good thing to go to.
Yeah.
Amanda, do you have anything to add?
Not right now.
Okay. I know that the trail mix thing went pretty well. We had about half of our food that we raised left over, and I was thinking we would just use them at the food demo, just make a giant gorp and put it in the protein section of our food demo, kind of a thing. So we'll use all that food, won't be an issue. And then Margot is also on tomorrow, but she's set up a Chipotle fundraiser in April. We don't have exact dates yet, but basically anyone that goes in Chipotle that day, you don't need to have a flyer, you just need to say like, this is for Student Dietetic Association, and the money will go straight to us, because they're trying to be like environmentally friendly and they don't want people printing stuff out. And so once we get like exact dates, we'll let everyone know about that. And then, do you want to talk about the sugar scrub?
I can.
Okay.
Margot and I are trying to get together and try and just get it figured out of dates that we're going to do it, but we're going to need people to volunteer to help make them. They're super easy. It wouldn't take very long. But basically what we're planning on doing is making our own sugar scrubs and jarring them and then trying to sell them, like either at the UC or something like that, just for a general fundraiser. And the idea is for Mother's Day. So it gives people an easy and fun way to give something to their moms, and we're just trying to figure out how to advertise it so that we can get the most bang for our buck that way, because we want to make lots of money on it. So just keep your eyes open for volunteering to make them. And then also, I think we're thinking of the selling dates, not Dead Week, but the week before that.
Okay.
Because I think Dead Week might be dead.
Good. Yeah.
So,
And just keep in mind that it's an easy and fun, but it's also a cheap gift for your mom.
yeah.
I mean, not all of us can afford big gifts while we're in college, so it's still
And it's
something
really
that they would
thoughtful because it's
appreciate.
not just like that, hey mom, here's your mug that says you're an awesome mom. Like,
Yeah.
you got something and you made her feel like $1,000,000 because I'm a mom and that stuff is really awesome.
Yeah. So, if you have any questions, you can contact Margot about those as well. And then we'll have our next meetings April 8th and April 9th, same times and places. Does anyone have any questions? Nope. Cool. Thank you.